Hello Golden State Warriors fans. We are here once again to bring you the latest news related to our team, and I would like to emphasize how committed we are to improving our performance to achieve great results. Before we dive into this intriguing news, I kindly request you to show your support by clicking the like button, and if you are not yet subscribed to our channel, I invite you all to join us on an exciting journey. Remember to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything.
Dub Hub, Draymond Green says Warriors can still play much better than in Game 1. Here's your roundup of the latest Warriors and NBA news for Tuesday, April 22nd. Despite a solid Game 1 win in their first-round series against the Houston Rockets, Draymond Green believes the Warriors are capable of playing much better than they did on Sunday night. Warriors officially send 20th pick to Heat in upcoming NBA draft. Kawhi Leonard drops 39 points to tie series 1-1 against Nuggets. The Golden State Warriors kicked off their first-round playoff series against the Houston Rockets with a 95-85 victory on Sunday night. While the win gives the veteran Warriors a 1-0 lead, they know the job is far from done. Even though the Warriors had a comfortable 23-point lead at one point during Game 1, they allowed the Rockets to climb back into the game, exposing some areas in need of improvement. After the game, Draymond Green didn't mince words, expressing his frustration and pointing out that the Warriors can definitely play much better than they showed. One glaring area of concern? Rebounding. Golden State was dominated on the glass, losing the rebounding battle 52-36, an eye-opening 22-6 margin in offensive rebounds. Houston, the league's best rebounding team during the regular season, made their presence felt with second-chance opportunities that kept them within striking distance. To counter this in Game 2, the Warriors could turn to their rebounding specialist, Kevin Looney, or even give more minutes to rookie center Quinton Post. But with their rotation already slimmed down, Golden State will need to rely on energy, positioning, and collective rebounding to keep Houston off the boards during Game 2 on Wednesday. For more updates on this and other NBA news, here's our latest Tuesday, April 22nd, news summary. Warriors' focus shifts to Game 2, Draymond Green's leadership and team adjustments. As the Warriors prepare for Game 2 against the Rockets, the spotlight remains on their rebounding issues. Draymond Green, ever the vocal leader, took the opportunity to stress the importance of collective effort on the boards. "We're not a team that's built to just bully teams on the glass, but we can't get outworked either," Green explained. "We need more bodies in there, and it's not just about one player grabbing the rebound, it's about everyone doing their part." This sentiment is critical for Golden State, as Houston's relentless effort on the offensive glass kept them within reach of the game, especially when the Warriors' defense broke down. If Golden State is to control the series, cleaning up the boards will be non-negotiable. This means Looney's role could become even more crucial, and the potential for Quinton Post to step up in his first playoff appearance adds an intriguing layer of depth to their strategy. The impact of the Warriors' reduced rotation. Another challenge facing the Warriors in this series is their shortened rotation. With injuries to key players like Andrew Wiggins, the Warriors have been forced to lean heavily on their core veterans and a select few bench players. While the experienced starters, led by Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson and Green, can be counted on for heavy minutes, the lack of depth has raised concerns about player fatigue, especially in a series that could go the distance. To mitigate these concerns, the Warriors have relied on their defense and quick offensive schemes to limit the amount of time their starters need to spend on the floor. However, as the series progresses, the need for contributions from players like Moses Moody and Jordan Poole will grow. Both players have shown flashes of brilliance during the regular season, and now they'll need to provide crucial support, especially in high-pressure moments. The coaching staff, led by Steve Kerr, will also play a key role in ensuring the team stays fresh. Kerr's ability to make in-game adjustments and manage minutes will be tested as the series intensifies, with each game presenting new challenges. Reactions around the league, Warriors' title hopes and rising tensions. Despite the win, national analysts have noted that Golden State's performance in Game 1 wasn't flawless. ESPN's Kendrick Perkins pointed out that while the Warriors have championship pedigree, their vulnerabilities are becoming more apparent in this postseason. Golden State's always dangerous, but if you give up 22 offensive rebounds to a team like the Rockets, that's a recipe for disaster against better competition, Perkins said on NBA Today. Meanwhile, the Rockets' fight back in Game 1 hasn't gone unnoticed either. Head coach Ime Udoka praised his team for their resilience. "We didn't give up. We had our chances, and we'll be ready for Game 2, Udoka said in his post-game interview. Despite being the underdog in this matchup, The Rockets' performance in Game 1 shows that they aren't backing down, and Golden State will need to tighten their game if they want to avoid a series upset. On the other hand, the Warriors' veteran leadership has been a major talking point. Stephen Curry, as always, was instrumental in guiding the team to victory with his timely shooting and playmaking, but it was Draymond Green's defensive intensity and vocal leadership that really stood out. Many analysts have suggested that Green's ability to set the tone on defense, despite being undersized compared to some of the Rockets' bigger players, is what gives the Warriors an edge in the long run. Looking ahead, what's at stake in Game 2? As the Warriors head into Game 2, it's clear that while they have the upper hand, the series is far from decided. Houston will be hungry for revenge and will surely come out with renewed energy. The challenge for Golden State will be to continue their momentum while making key adjustments, especially in rebounding and bench play. A win in Game 2 would give the Warriors a commanding 2-0 lead and provide a significant psychological advantage heading back to San Francisco for Game 3. However, any slip-up could give the Rockets the confidence they need to steal home court advantage, and that's something the Warriors can't afford to let happen. The road to another championship is long, and the Warriors know better than anyone that every game matters. With Draymond Green leading the charge, it seems like Golden State is ready to face whatever comes their way, but Game 2 will be a crucial test of their resilience and ability to adapt. Is Draymond Green hinting that Jonathan Kaminga will join the rotation in Game 2? Could we see Jonathan Kaminga taking the court in Game 2 against the Rockets? As the Golden State Warriors aim for a 2-0 lead in their first-round series against the Houston Rockets this Wednesday night, questions are swirling about potential lineup adjustments. Despite a solid 95-85 win in Game 1, the Warriors know that Houston will come out swinging in Game 2, likely pushing for a different outcome. That means Golden State needs to be ready to counter with fresh energy, and maybe a few surprises. One of those surprises might just be Kaminga. On the latest episode of The Draymond Green Show, joined by former NBA star Baron Davis, Draymond dropped an interesting hint. While praising young teammates Moses Moody and Brandon Podziemski, he pivoted the conversation toward Kaminga. "The two young guys are playing really well, man," Green said. "But one thing I'll say, this series might be a great fit for Jonathan Kaminga. I think it'll be fun to watch him step up and play well too. We're going to need all our young guys to deliver in this series." Baron Davis didn't miss a beat, adding, "I'd love to see Kaminga out there. I just have a feeling he's ready to break out and really impact this series." Of course, take it with a grain of salt. Playoff teams don't typically reveal their tactical moves this openly. Green could simply be trying to keep Kaminga mentally engaged in case he's called upon unexpectedly. Still, throwing out that kind of endorsement during the playoffs isn't nothing. It could be strategic, or it could be foreshadowing. This isn't the first time Green has hyped up Kaminga's potential impact, either. After the play-in game, he made similar remarks, suggesting there's some real belief behind the words. With Game 2 tipping off Wednesday night, we won't have to wait long to see if Coach Steve Kerr decides to shake up the rotation and give Kaminga his moment. The buzz surrounding Kaminga's potential role in Game 2 has quickly picked up steam across social media and among NBA analysts. Fans are already speculating what his presence on the floor could mean for a Warriors team that, while experienced, often leans heavily on a shortened rotation during the playoffs. Kaminga brings something the Warriors might be missing right now: explosive athleticism, defensive versatility, and the ability to push the pace in transition. His skill set could be a game-changer, especially against a younger, fast-paced Rockets team that thrives on momentum. Several analysts have pointed out that while Golden State controlled much of Game 1, they struggled at times to match Houston's energy, particularly when the Rockets went small and turned up the tempo. Kaminga's ability to switch on defense and finish through contact in the paint might be exactly what Steve Kerr needs to keep the edge. Even Warriors insiders have started hinting that the coaching staff could be looking for ways to inject fresh legs into the rotation. According to a report by The Athletic, Kerr and his staff have been impressed with Kaminga's focus during practices and film sessions since the start of the playoffs, even though he didn't play a single minute in Game 1. And then there's the locker room dynamic. Green's public praise of Kaminga wasn't just about XS and OS, it was about building trust. Veteran players like Draymond know how important it is to keep young talent mentally ready, especially in the high-stakes pressure of a playoff run. When a respected voice like his gives you the nod, it sends a message, to Kaminga, to the team, and even to the opposition. The fan reaction has been largely positive, with many calling for Kaminga to get his shot. Some believe his limited minutes in Game 1 were a missed opportunity. "You don't develop weapons just to leave them on the bench when it counts," one fan tweeted. Others argue that Kerr's cautious approach is justified, pointing to Kaminga's occasional inconsistency on defense. Still, there's a growing sense that if Kaminga sees the court in Game 2, it could mark a turning point, not just in this series, but in his young career. He's shown flashes of star potential throughout the season, and this could be the moment he puts it all together under the brightest lights. All eyes will be on the Warriors bench when tip-off comes. Will Kaminga check in early? Will he be used in spot minutes, or trusted in crunch time? The answers are coming soon. And if Kaminga rises to the occasion, don't be surprised if this becomes one of those playoff stories we talk about for years. Warriors give Rockets a taste of playoff reality, draw first blood. The Golden State Warriors wasted no time showing the young Houston Rockets what playoff basketball really looks like. In Game 1, the Dubs executed their defensive game plan with poise and precision, exposing the Rockets' offensive flaws in a 95-85 road win. Coming into the series, Houston's struggles from beyond the arc were no secret. They ranked 21st in the league in three-point efficiency, and in Game 1, they hit just 6 of 28, 20.7%. The Warriors bet on that weakness and won big. One play captured the Warriors' defensive identity, for defenders swarming Fred VanVleet on a drive, while Jimmy Butler stayed disciplined, refusing to overhelp and leave Jabari Smith Jr. open in the corner. It wasn't just effort, it was intelligence. Golden State knew the Rockets lacked ball movement and creativity in the half-court. They ranked dead last in passes and assists per possession, and that stagnation was evident. Butler and Draymond Green read the offense like a book, cutting off lanes, jumping passes, and forcing tough contested looks. Even Alperen Sengun, Houston's most consistent threat, struggled to gain ground against Draymond in isolation. Meanwhile, Jalen Green faced drop coverages, packed paint, and very few clean looks. Despite losing the rebounding battle, Houston had 22 offensive boards. The Warriors stayed composed. Curry led with 31 points on 78% shooting. Butler added 25 of his own and played both ends like a seasoned veteran. Together, they delivered when it mattered most. This wasn't a flawless game from Golden State, but it was a firm reminder: experience, execution, and star power still matter in the playoffs. And in this series, the Warriors struck first, and hard. Momentum, mind games, and the road ahead. Golden State's Game 1 win didn't just set the tone, it forced Houston to look in the mirror. The Rockets, a team praised all season for their defensive discipline and youthful energy, suddenly looked overwhelmed by a team that's been through the fire too many times to flinch. "I think we were a step slow," Rockets head coach Ime Udoka admitted after the game. "They dictated everything, the pace, the physicality, the decisions." And that's the story right now. The Warriors didn't just win, they controlled the game mentally. Their experience showed in how they navigated each possession, while Houston often defaulted to isolation plays, rushed threes, and forced drives into traffic. Around the league, analysts quickly took note. ESPN's Kendrick Perkins called Butler the difference-maker Golden State didn't know they needed. Others praised the Warriors' ability to stay composed, even when the Rockets made a late push and cut a 23-point deficit down to a single possession. But it wasn't just the stars. Role players like Brandon Podziemski and Moses Moody stepped up in crucial moments, Podziemski with a game-saving offensive rebound and assist to Draymond, and Moody with a clutch three in the fourth. These weren't just lucky plays, they were signs of a system that trusts every piece on the board. A message to the league? With this win, the Warriors reminded everyone, don't count them out. While much of the media spotlight has focused on teams like Denver, OKC, and Phoenix, Golden State quietly looks like a squad rediscovering its edge at the perfect time. The arrival of Jimmy Butler, with his grit and playoff mindset, may have reawakened the championship DNA in this group. As Draymond Green put it, "We're not here to relive the past. We're here to write the next chapter." Adjustments coming in Game 2. Make no mistake, Houston will adjust. Expect quicker ball movement, more aggressive rebounding, and an attempt to involve Sengun earlier in the offense. VanVleet and Jalen Green will need to find better rhythm, and their defense will have to find an answer for Curry-Butler pick-and-rolls that punish them all night. Still, the question remains, can the Rockets stay mentally sharp through the grind of a full series? Game 1 exposed small cracks. Now, Golden State's job is to keep pressing on them. Tip-off for Game 2 is set for Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and the pressure is officially on Houston. If the Warriors steal another on the road, this series could swing out of reach before it ever reaches Chase Center. Warriors show their grit in Game 1 victory over Rockets. Jimmy Butler 3 shines in playoff debut. Warriors defense stifles Houston. The Warriors kicked off their playoff run in commanding fashion, taking Game 1 against the Houston Rockets with a gritty 95-85 win on the road Sunday night. The spotlight belonged to Jimmy Butler 3, who delivered a powerhouse debut performance in a Warriors uniform, dropping 25 points, grabbing 7 rebounds, dishing out 6 assists, and swiping 5 steals. In doing so, Butler joined elite company, becoming just the 4th player in franchise history to post at least 25 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 steals in a single playoff game, standing alongside Stephen Curry, Rick Barry, and Tim Hardaway. Butler's scoring was steady and timely. He put up points in every quarter and iced the game with 6 clutch points in the final 2 minutes, including a mid-range jumper over Alperen Sengun and a fast break dunk off a steal. It was a statement game. Jimmy's one of the best in the league, and tonight you saw exactly why, head coach Steve Kerr said. He impacts the game in every possible way. He gives us poise, confidence, and belief. He's a winner. Locked in on defense. Warriors smother Rockets. Golden State's offense wasn't at its sharpest, but their defense sent a clear message: they're here to fight. The Warriors held the Rockets to just 85 points, Houston's lowest total of the season. It was the first time all year that the Warriors won a game while scoring under 100 points, previously 0-8 in such games. The key? Relentless perimeter pressure and lockdown defensive execution. This is what playoff basketball is all about, said Draymond Green. We didn't shoot it well, but our defense showed up, and that's how you win on the road in the postseason. The Warriors posted the second-best defensive rating of any team in the first round so far, 95.5, trailing only the Thunder. Houston was held to just 39.1% from the field and a frigid 20.6% from beyond the arc. Golden State's backcourt defensive duo, Stephen Curry and Brandon Podziemski, played a huge role. Curry held his primary matchup to just 4 of 16 shooting, the lowest FG% allowed by any player who contested 15-plus shots in Game 1 league-wide. Podziemski wasn't far behind, limiting his man to 5 of 18. We were flying around out there, Green added. No easy buckets, nothing in rhythm. We stuck to our plan and made them uncomfortable. The Butler-Green defensive connection. While Curry continues to carry the offensive mantle, Butler has quickly emerged as a defensive complement to Green, the Robin to his Batman on that end of the court. Butler recorded 5 of the team's 14 steals and was directly responsible for turning Rocket turnovers into transition points, helping generate 25 points off Houston's 17 giveaways. We didn't just respond, we responded with force, Butler said. Draymond Green, recently named a finalist for the NBA Defensive Player of the Year, praised the team's effort but sees room for improvement, particularly on the glass. Houston grabbed 22 offensive rebounds, something Green sees as one of their biggest threats. That's their game, he said. They crash hard and get boards on over 60% of their misses. It's wild, that's probably their best offense. We've got to clean that up. With the Warriors locked in defensively and the playoffs heating up, all eyes turn to Game 2 on Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. One thing's for sure, this team is ready for the moment, and with Jimmy Butler stepping up alongside the core, they're a force no one wants to face. Momentum shifts, expectations rise. Following the win, the buzz around the league wasn't just about the scoreboard, it was about the Warriors' statement of intent. Pundits, analysts, and fans alike took notice of the team's renewed defensive identity and the seamless integration of Jimmy Butler into Golden State's system. NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski called Butler's performance a playoff tone-setter, and emphasized how his mindset may be exactly what this Warriors team needed to reclaim its championship edge. On social media, Butler's Game 1 highlights quickly went viral, especially the late-game sequence where he stripped Sengun and finished with authority in transition. Draymond Green's post-game comments also gained traction as he reminded everyone that, the Warriors aren't done yet, we've been through the fire, and we know how to win when it matters most. Meanwhile, the Rockets find themselves at a crossroads. After an up-and-down regular season, they entered the playoffs as a dark horse, but Game 1 exposed their lack of composure against elite defensive pressure. Their inability to adapt to the Warriors' rotations, combined with poor shooting decisions, has already prompted internal questions about adjustments heading into Game 2. "We've got to be more disciplined," said Rockets head coach Ime Udoka post-game. "They dictated the pace and made us uncomfortable. That can't happen again." Warriors' depth stepping up. While the headlines focused on Butler, the unsung heroes of Game 1 quietly reinforced the team's depth. Rookie Brandon Podziemski's impact on both ends of the court was significant. Not only did he play suffocating defense, but he also chipped in with timely assists and hustle plays that kept the energy high. Klay Thompson, though not lights out from deep, brought veteran savvy to key moments, drawing charges, spacing the floor, and making crucial reads. Kevin Looney and Jonathan Kaminga combined for 17 rebounds, battling Houston's aggressive frontcourt and preventing second-chance points from becoming overwhelming. Steve Kerr emphasized the importance of collective effort. Everyone who stepped on the floor tonight contributed something meaningful. That's what makes this team dangerous. We have stars, yes, but we also have guys who understand their roles and embrace them. Looking ahead, Game 2 and the bigger picture. Heading into Game 2, the Warriors are aware that Houston will come out swinging. Adjustments will be made, and Golden State expects a more physical, urgent response from the young Rockets squad. The key for the Warriors will be maintaining their defensive intensity while improving efficiency on offense, especially in transition and at the three-point line, where they went just 10 of 32 in Game 1. "We left points on the table," Curry admitted. "But that's the beauty of a series. You take the win, learn from it, and come back sharper." There's also growing speculation that the Warriors are quietly molding into a dark horse contender in the West. With teams like Denver and Phoenix battling inconsistencies, Golden State's chemistry, playoff experience, and new defensive identity could be the X-factor. Jimmy Butler, ever the competitor, is embracing the moment. "I didn't come here just to play hard, I came here to win. This team knows what it takes. I'm just adding to the culture." A familiar spark, a new chapter. It's only one game, but the energy in the Bay feels different. There's an edge, a hunger, and a belief that this group might just have one more run left in them. With Butler adding fire to the Warriors' core and the defense anchoring the team like it hasn't in years, Game 1 might not be an anomaly, it might be a warning shot. Game 2 tips off Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If the Warriors bring the same tenacity, Houston may find themselves in deeper trouble. And if they take a 2-0 lead heading back to Chase Center? Well, the league better be ready for what comes next.